Coming up on Golf Chicago TV, we'll take a look back at what may be the final BMW Championship in Chicago. It's Ryder Cup fever as the captains of the U.S. and European teams hit the town. We'll head to Long Grove for our annual Golf Chicago Tournament of Champions. And we head out west to Idaho to show you one of the most beautiful and highest rated courses in the world. You won't want to miss this one. Golf Chicago TV starts right now. Welcome to Golf Chicago TV. I'm your host, Rebecca Halpern, here at Play 18, an indoor golf facility in downtown Chicago. You know, the Ryder Cup is just a year away, and the PGA of America has invited its two captains to blow through the Windy City to kick off the countdown to the event. Opening shot is brought to you by Grand Geneva Resort and Spa. United States captain Davis Love III and European captain Jose Maria Olazabal were introduced to the media at Medina Country Club last month. In exactly 1 year, the biggest event in golf will be right here in Chicago, and both captains are very excited to be bringing the tournament to the Windy City.
I'm excited to be the 2012 Ryder Cup captain. I'm honored to lead this team. It's going to be an exciting tournament because we're trying to win the cup back, but also because we're playing at home. We're playing at Medina, which is going to be an incredible place for a Ryder Cup. Chicago fans have been great to me already in the last year. I know they're going to be very supportive of both sides, but I feel like we'll have a nice home field advantage playing here at Medina. A great history of the game and great sports fans.
Medina Country Club, there is a lot of history around this place. We've played a lot of major events here, and I cannot imagine a better host for this event.
After the press conference, the captains boarded a bus and headed downtown for an incredibly unique event. A tee box was built on the Terrace of 16, a restaurant on the 16th floor of the Trump Tower. Both Jose and Davis hit tee shots onto a barge on the Chicago River with a replica of Medina's famous number 17 green. The green was parked under the open Michigan Avenue Bridge, which was a most stunning backdrop. They each got 3 swings. And even though they were 16 stories in the air and had to contend with 30-mile-per-hour breezes, they showed why they're great as they both hit the green.
He's on! Ball is struck well. It's straight, ladies and gentlemen. Can we stop now? It's going. Anybody see it land? Oh, right over the green, right before the water taxi.
Now from the Ryder Cup to something a little more local. Golf Chicago's 4th annual Tournament of Champions, sponsored by Glenmorangie Scotch. The Tournament of Champions, held this year at the Royal Country Club of Long Grove, is our way here at Golf Chicago and Glenmorangie Scotch to give props to all the club champions throughout the Chicagoland area.
We invite the club champions to come play, and they get to test their game against the best players around Chicagoland. And Glenmorangie has a long history of being involved in golf, both in Scotland and this country. So it's a great venue, a great opportunity for us to include people who love golf and either love or want to be introduced to a single malt Scotch whiskey.
The vision of the tournament is to provide the best possible tournament experience for all the club champions, not only in the Chicagoland area, but anywhere in the United States. And it was well received, with many players saying that it was the best tournament they played all year.
Over the past 4 years, we've held the tournament at different country clubs in the Chicagoland area. We've had over 130 club champions come out and participate during that time period. And this year we included some guests as well. We had a gorgeous day, very lucky on the weather to have a beautiful day in September and come out and play a round of competitive golf.
And the Royal Country Club of Long Grove, which will host a Canadian Tour event next year, was in impeccable shape and proved to be a difficult challenge. The championship came down to 2 players, Scott Reck from Kemper Lakes and Doug Krenicki from Crest Creek Country Club, who both finished with a 79. But in a 1-hole playoff, Reck scrambled for par while Krenicki's par putt slid by for a bogey.
There's really not any events for private club members, in our age group. I always think private club members, you always think people that are like 40 and older. So it's a good test for 40 to 50-year-olds. You're playing against the young kids, the flat bellies, as they say. It's it can be a little demeaning. It's nice to play against people that are right in your level.
Every player received a gift bag with a dozen tailor-made Penta golf balls, and the winner, Scott Reck, won a wonderful vacation package to Erin Hills, home of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship and the 2017 U.S. Open. Glenmorangie also donated $1,000 to the First Tee of Illinois on behalf of all the club champions. And best of all, everyone got to take home a bottle of Glenmorangie's single malt scotch.
Well, Glenmorangie Scotch Whiskey is the #1 selling single malt scotch in Scotland, and it's the #3 single malt in the United States and closing fast on #2. We're seeing tremendous growth. A lot of that is driven by not only the great product that we have, but all the opportunities that we have to expose Glenmorangie through golf and golf events.
Golf Chicago would like to thank our sponsors, Royal Country Club of Long Grove, Glenmorangie Scotch, and TaylorMade for sponsoring the event. We've got a lot more on the show for you here today. Coming up, we'll head to Idaho, not for potatoes, but for some spectacular golf. Welcome back. You know, when you think of Idaho, you don't think of golf necessarily. Maybe potatoes come to mind, but there's a top-rated golf course in the world that our crew was lucky enough to check out. Let's take a look at Huntsman Springs. Huntsman Springs is a world-class private golf club and residential community located in Driggs, Idaho, just 40 miles from Jackson Hole. With the stunning Teton Mountains surrounding the course, this Scottish-inspired design by acclaimed golf architect David McClay Kidd blends seamlessly into its native lands with graceful contours, pristine ponds, and Irish links fescue. David Kidd was Golf Magazine's Architect of the Year in 2008, and he calls Huntsman Springs my greatest golf architectural achievement.
One of the things David Kidd has done and actually said he did on purpose is he created the most risk-reward golf course that he's created to date. He's done some great golf courses, the original Bandon Dunes course, Naneo over in Hawaii, Tetherow in Bend, Oregon, the Castle course in the town of St. Andrews, Scotland. Great golf courses. So for him to say this is his greatest risk reward and one of his greatest architectural achievements is high praise.
Every hole is a visual masterpiece and a strategic challenge. Many have wide split fairways, giving the player an array of options as to how to attack the course. With 153 bunkers, streams, ponds, and huge undulating greens that average 10,000 square feet, it's a very daunting task.
For a golfer, you have to really think your way around this golf course. You just can't blast it and hope for the best. You actually have to plan and execute that plan. But for those who do, it's incredible reward at the end.
Huntsman Springs has received many accolades since its opening last year, including 2010 Development of the Year in North America by Golf Inc. magazine, 2011 Best Modern Courses by Golf Week magazine, and the 2010 Best Private Course by Golf magazine.
We always knew that it was going to be unique and different and special. And now to receive all the accolades and all the awards and all the recognitions is just confirmation, and it feels good because, you know, this has been a great process and a lot of fun and very exciting for us.
Another unique aspect to Huntsman Springs is that all profits will go to a very worthy cause. Unlike most private golf clubs, Huntsman Springs is a family-owned business. John Huntsman, founder and chairman of the Huntsman Corporation, has dedicated his life to philanthropy, having donated more than $1 billion to charities, most notably creating the Huntsman Cancer Institute in Salt Lake City, the largest genetic cancer center in the world.
We're not developers because all of our profits that we make here at Huntsman Springs go to our cancer, the Huntsman Cancer Institute. So we have a noble cause, and we feel that over the years this will only get better and better.
In addition to the great golf, Huntsman Springs has a beautiful residential community with a variety of home options. Residents can enjoy a 2-mile boardwalk that winds through 500 acres of protected open meadows, ponds, and streams, allowing residents to enjoy the peaceful ambiance against the backdrop of the Teton Mountains.
What we like about this place is the tranquility and the peacefulness. We have one stoplight in the entire county, and people can come here and collect with their families and realize what exquisite quality living is all about.
Huntsman Springs bears our family name, and to me that makes it different from most developments. It's not about coming in and making a quick buck and moving on somewhere else. Huntsman Springs forevermore will always be a reflection of our family, and to us that means that we always have to make decisions with a long-term perspective. We always have to be committed to providing the best experience for our customers.
Obviously, this is a special place. This is an incredible place weather-wise. During the summer, it's 75 to 85 every day, hardly ever breath of wind, and we have the mountains on 3 sides of us. It's a truly magical place where I believe you come and decompress a little bit. Your blood pressure goes down, the air is clean, the water's clean, and just a special, special property.
Coach, so we played last year at Cog Hill, and it's quite a treat to see you, take out the driver. What have some, golf professionals, when they've analyzed your driver swing, what do they say?
The first set of clubs I ever got, I went and got measured, doing it all upright, having the pro measure me up, and the first time he saw me swing a club, he came back and he was trying to think of something nice to say, and he said, "Wow, that's violent." Probably a fair assessment of my swing.
Yeah, a violent approach to golf, absolutely.
Short and steady.
And you're not going to change, right? I mean, hitting off the tee, hitting drivers, what you love doing?
No, I do. I always say if I can hit well off the tee, I don't care what I score. I always like to get that drive. But, when I've played better, it's when I've slowed it down and listened to the little voices in the back of my head telling me to do it.
Yeah, that's no fun.
No.
Come on, there you go.
Your dad, Arnie, has been a single-digit golfer, and he really loves the game. He taught you the game, is that right?
He did. We grew up on a little 9-hole course called Prophet Hills Country Club, and to this day, one of the most enjoyable times for me in the summer is to get back, hopefully for Father's Day, and me and my 3 brothers, 2 other brothers, and my dad get a chance to play 9 holes or 18 holes of golf. Pretty fun.
Yeah. And you teach the game of life through football, but what can kids who play golf learn about?
Well, I've made reference to our team for guys that, because we do have a lot of kids that play the game, and it's such a mental game. It's such a concentration game to hold your thoughts for 2 to 3 hours, and be specific on each shot. So just like all athletic events, if you can hold it together mentally, usually you're pretty good.
Yeah, so I think Coach Ryan said he's a 17. I think from last year, I remember you being an 18. What's the prediction today?
Well, I truly am an 18. He's probably truly not a 17. I've been rumored that he actually tries to slow the golf game down as well. So
Great.
I'm out for some sports specifics today.
You have a favorite memory from golf?
I do. One of the traditions I've had is the last Sunday before we start up full go, I always play golf with my father. And last year we were out here, we were playing with my father, Keith May, and then Father Mike Burke, who travels with our team. He's married over 90 former players. We were on number 13, and we thought he hit a pretty good shot. We went up there, and it was in the hole. It was a hole-in-one, and Father Mike said, "I'm going nuts because it's a hole-in-one, and I'm all excited. My dad's going nuts." And Father Mike looked at me, and he goes, "It's going to be a really good year." And then we won a championship, so that's probably my favorite.
There's a lot more still to come on Golf Chicago TV. After the break, we'll head to Cog Hill, where we'll talk to some tour pros about the future of pro golf in Chicago.
For a purer whiskey, we use the tallest stills in Scotland. And for a rounder, smoother taste, we travel 6,000 miles to the north slopes of the Ozark Mountains to find just the right wood for our casks. All seems a bit unnecessary, doesn't it? Until, of course, you taste the whiskey. Glenmorangie, unnecessarily well made.
One gram. A new idea. A subtle curve. 1,000 small things that make all the difference. Performance is why more PGA Tour pros play tailor-made drivers than Callaway, Cleveland, Cobra, Nike, and Ping combined. TaylorMade, the #1 driver in golf.
The Jack Nicklaus Signature Golf Course is one reason to visit Harbor Shores. but there's 100 reasons to stay. Have the time of your life. Harbor Shores, home of the 2012 Senior PGA Championship, presented by KitchenAid.
Apparel on Golf Chicago TV, provided by Ashworth Golf, providing style on and off the course. Welcome back to Golf Chicago TV here at Play 18, an indoor golf facility in downtown Chicago. This season was action-packed on tour. Congratulations to Bill Haas, who won the FedEx Cup. And the BMW Championship just last month at Cog Hill wrapped up with a spectacular finish. Justin Rose won the BMW Championship at Cog Hill in what may be the last championship held at the famed course. It was a great moment for Justin and his family. Justin finished 5th in FedEx points.
Cog Hill, what can I say? I mean, this golf course has been so good to me. I came here as an amateur in 1997 and played the US Amateur here. And this course ate me up. I thought it was the toughest course I've ever played. So it's lovely to get a little bit of redemption today.
The BMW Championship will be at Crooked Stick next year, and in 2014, it'll be at Cherry Hills outside of Denver. The Western Golf Association still has yet to announce where it will be in 2013, but it doesn't seem likely it'll be Cog Hill. Since the BMW Championship was moved to September from the old Western Open dates in July, crowds have dwindled, the course was in poor condition last year, and many players have voiced their displeasure with Cog Hill's course redesign by Reese Jones. It doesn't look good for a comeback to Cog Hill in 2013. There's been talk of possibly having the tournament at Chicago Highlands, the Glen Club, or Kemper Lakes, but there's no guarantee that the tournament will come back to Chicago. We caught up with some tour players and got their reaction to not having a regular tour stop in Chicago.
I think Chicago is a great sports city. You know, having lived here for a number of years, I would love to see an event here. I think the Western Golf Association does a great job with events, and obviously BMW has been a great sponsor, and I hope the event continues to be in Chicago. Obviously next year we'll have a Ryder Cup that will fill the void a little bit, but I think Chicago is one of the best cities in the US. I live here because of my enjoyment of the city, and I think it has a lot of great courses to offer as well.
I think everybody on the PGA Tour, all of us players, think that in a market this big, that doesn't make any sense. So hopefully that'll be a thing of the past, and we'll make sure that doesn't happen in the future.
I think it's disappointing. I think that, you know, I can remember the Western Opens that we played here over the 4th of July and holiday weekend and the support and, you know, the army of people following Tiger up the 18th hole. I mean, this place was crowded. We got a lot of fan support here, and you know, it's been a good city for the Western Open, for the BMW for a lot of years. So it's disappointing that we're not here in Chicago, and hopefully hopefully that won't be for long, and that something will get figured out, and we'll be back here on a yearly basis.
The 19th hole is brought to you by Glenmorangie Scotch, Scotland's best-selling single malt.
We are here at the Royal Country Club of Long Grove. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to have a Ryder Cup themed segment this time. So we are going to start with Don Larson, the chairman of the Ryder Cup committee. What kind of preparations are we looking at now, Don?
First thing that we've done was to start our sales and hospitality. And we started by going back to the people who supported Medina in the past for the past PGAs, the 99 and 2006 PGAs, and had a tremendous response from the Chicagoland business community. European communities have been involved, and we're very close to being sold out of all our corporate hospitality. And it's been a very successful, very, very meaningful event because of the fact that everybody is so excited to come to a Ryder Cup. A Ryder Cup, according to the networks that carry it, say that besides the World Cup and the Olympics, the Ryder Cup is the most viewed event in the world.
Jamie Brighty, who's a pro here at the club, do you think you'll be able to make it out to Medina at all? You're going to try to cancel the teaching lessons that day or what?
Absolutely. No, and as fortunately being a member of the Illinois PGA Board of Directors, we're excited, obviously, being the host section for such a great event, and I definitely will be out there and using my duty as the Board of Directors to use whatever I can to be as close to the action as I can. So I'll definitely look forward to seeing that.
Mike, who are some American golfers that you particularly enjoy watching when you're taking a break from teaching?
Dustin Johnson, I think, is great. Given all that he's been through, to come back and keep fighting and going, I think that's gigantic. Ricky Fowler's fun just because young, exuberant. I like some of the European guys a little bit too. I mean, Rory McIlroy, I think, is fun to watch. There's a lot of great golf, whether it's American or European side. So I think it'll be a fun day at Medina anyways, just to watch the great golf that's going to be played, period.
Well, given that it's Chicago, we can't make a lot of weather guarantees, but you think we're pretty confident that the weather is not going to be as bad as it was in Wales? You were showing me some pictures of having walked around in Wales and a lot of mud on those shoes and pants. That experience, unfortunately, that's the part that stands out most from the Wales experience?
Yes, the weather obviously is something that nobody can control at all. I don't see anything more deflating than these people who run events and get them washed out, have to make arrangements for weather, for the golf course. It's really a deflating experience, and if you have perfect weather and everybody's happy, it'll be a tremendous event.
How do you think Davis is going to want to set up the course? Will he have sort of a signature in terms of either the rough or the greens or any of the holes that you think?
We haven't really discussed that quite yet. I think it'll be determined more so when it gets a little closer and he sees the strength of the players who are on the team.
Yeah.
Going all the way back to the Belfry, when the Europeans put fairway, stopped the fairway and put rough right in the middle of the fairway to keep the long bombers from hitting, which was, I don't know if you'd call that good sportsmanship, but they did it, and that's prerogative of the captain to set the course up. So I think it'll be determined a little closer to see where the strength of the players are.
Yeah. It's like Seve, they said, had a faster golf cart than his American captain, and then he would even have some of the greens mowed during the day, during the round, but would only tell his players about that.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty good gamesmanship, isn't it? Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Well, that about does it for us here at Golf Chicago TV. Be sure to join us in November as we visit Arizona for a little desert golf. Also, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website, golfchicagotv.com. We'll see you again soon.